Today, we're going to do the zipper coil. Okay guys, the zipper coil, as some of you may or may not know, was created by Twisted Messes. If you haven't seen his channel, go over and check it out. It's Twisted Messes on YouTube. This coil is pretty freaking awesome, man. So I figured I would go ahead and do a video so you guys can see it, check it out. If you want to make one, this is how you do it. Okay, so per his instructions, I've got 6 strands of 28 gauge Canthal. As you can see, it's kind of a mess right now. We need to straighten out all 6 strands of this. And the way to do that is to grab a strand of it, take your drill, and you put a piece of this. You got to do this with all 6 pieces of this. So this coil is quite time consuming, so you just want to put this in your chuck, tighten it down. And I'm not going to show you this procedure for all of these because that would be silly. I'm just going to show you how to straighten out your Canthal. Take a pair of needle nose pliers, grab the opposite end. You want to do 3 strands in counterclockwise and 3 strands in clockwise. This is very important. And I'll show you why here in just a moment. So I'm going to go ahead and do this one. If you see that right there, see how straight that Canthal is now? It's not kinked up or anything. Can you see it? You want to do 3 in counterclockwise and 3 in clockwise, and that's it. I'm going to finish up the rest of these doing the same procedure, and then we'll come back and I'll show you how to wrap the coil. Okay, so next, after we got all our Canthal straightened, right here goes one pile there, and here's another one. Clockwise and counterclockwise, 3 strands each. I took and cut the ends off just to make everything nice and uniform. Now what we want to do, I'll show you how to do one of these. This is the counterclockwise. Just want to take one of these ends. So it's going to kind of twist this up here. And this, I'm only doing this just to give the drill something to hold on to. Like that right there. Now I need to do the other strand, and I'm not going to show you that one. So just twist the end on the other strand of 3, okay? Then we can start twisting the coil. Now that we have all 6 strands and 2 piles here, one set is clockwise and one set is counterclockwise. So here's my clockwise, here's my counterclockwise. We've got our ends twisted together, as you can see there. Now we're just going to take one of these. We're going to place it in the end of the drill. Into the chuck. Just want to remember which way that you're going here. I'm going to tighten this down, make sure it's nice and snug, and I'm going to run this counterclockwise, or actually this one is clockwise, so I'm going to change the setting on the drill. Okay, right here, and we're going to run this clockwise. Now the opposite end of this, I'm going to grab a hold of it with some needle nose pliers. So you got it like that. Everything is nice and straight. Start twisting this. Start out slow and then get faster. Okay, let's change the setting on the drill. Okay, here we go. Let's come in here and take a look at it close. So you want something similar to that right there. Now what we want to do is we want to flatten out each of these strands. And the way to do that, you want to pop them back in the chuck. And what we want to do is we're going to come down to the end here, okay? And we're going to turn this slowly, and we're going to work our way down the length of this to try to flatten it. And you're going to have to do this procedure probably 10 or 15 times. I'm going to show you one time, and then I'm going to do both sets of wires, and then we're going to finally wrap a coil. So here we go. Okay, you just want to repeat the process. Okay, I'm going to continue to do this one, then we'll come back. Actually, real quick, what we're looking for is we're going to flatten this wire out, okay? I'm going to try to work some of the edges off of it and all that. And then once I do that, I'm going to rinse these off with some tap water, because you don't want any of those little metal shavings, because we're flattening it out with these pliers. We don't want any of those metal shavings getting in our lungs when we vape it. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish this up, and then we'll come back and wrap a coil. Okay, so now that we have both sets of wire flattened out and all that, we got them twisted the way that we want them. You can see that there. Okay, now it's time to wrap a coil. And make sure after you flatten these that you rinse them off really well, because you want to get all that the metal shavings off of this. I'm going to use this little screwdriver right here to wrap on. I think we'll do 6 wraps. So now we have 12 total wires and 6 wraps. Okay, now I'm going to cut off some of this excess and then straighten this up. What I'm going to do here is I'm just going to grab each one of these and give them a little tug here, man, to try my best to straighten these out best I can, because I don't want any of these wires to overlap. I'm going to be installing this on the Mephisto, and that's because of those nice big deck holes right there. Yeah, okay, they went through. So currently this is what we have. I'm going to try to straighten these the best I can here. Sorry about that, guys. I had to stop the video real quick because a family member brought in some mail. I'll be doing a review on this right here in the next couple of days or so. This is a stacked e-juice strawberry blend. Back to the build. Okay, so we got our coil twisted up in here. Let's see. That's what I was doing right here. So we want to try to pull these up best we can. We don't want these wires to be crossed. It kind of looks like I have one crossed right there. Yeah, sometimes they'll cross inside the RDA while it's going through the post holes. And you don't want that to happen. So I got a hold of that one right here, and that straightened those out. I'm going to hold that, put pressure on that, and I'm going to tighten down this negative post. Okay, so we get that where we want it. Now we can tighten down the positive, making sure beforehand that none of our wires are crossed or overlapping at all. Now I'm going to come in here and take the cutters, cut that off as small as I can get it, or close as I can get it. What I'm doing is pulling back on this a little bit just to straighten these out somewhat. This is so difficult to do on camera. I'm looking at my computer monitor trying to straighten these. I'm just trying to make sure that nothing is overlapping. I've never built this coil before, so I'm sure that in the future, as I build this coil more and more, that I will get used to the best ways in which to do this. But always when you're first starting out and you're trying to learn this stuff, you know, it's a trial and error type deal. We learn by doing, so. I just want to try to straighten these the best I can. I'm not really comfortable with the way that looks right there. I think it's actually good enough now. I'm comfortable enough that I know that none of my wires are overlapping. Even though it does look a little funny right there. It's giving a weird looking, a little illusion. But I think it's good enough now that I can heat it. And then I can get this stuff straightened out. Let's check the ohms real fast just to see. Okay, 0.61. And there you have it, guys. Now it's time to wick this thing up. And this does give an illusion like it's completely screwed and it doesn't look uniform, but trust me, it is. It's just the way that the coil looks. You see what I'm saying? It looks like it's like every other strand is kind of sticking up. Yeah, I see what Twisted Messes was talking about there. These coils can they can be like an optical illusion or something. So, all right. I think that that's working pretty well there. Yeah, fire it again. This battery's kind of dead. As you can see, it's glowing from the inside out. Okay, let's wick this up. I'm actually going to let that coil cool down a little bit before I stick some cotton in there because this thing burns pretty hot, man. And we need to straighten this up just a little bit. See, it's kind of at a slant. Let's see where our top cap's going to sit, where air hole's at. And that's about where I want it because I want some of the air to go right underneath that coil. So about halfway down on the coil. Something like that. I know one thing, I need another vape of this stacked, man. This stuff is killer. So the one I got was Jane Doe. And man, that is tasty. Holy crap. Let me just take one end over here as per usual. Twist it together here. Yeah, this coil was not easy to build, guys, at all. I mean, it is my first time building it, so obviously it's going to be, you know, a little difficult the first time you ever do it. Okay, so here it is up close. This is the zipper coil. It's not the best looking coil I've done. It still looks like it's giving off that little optical illusion type deal there. But I mean, this is the first time I've done it, so maybe not too shabby for a first time around. I mean, it's the first time I twisted all these wires in that manner, and you know, I mean, everything, all this stuff. So not too bad. Now I'm going to go ahead and trim this off. Just trim some of this right here, about right in here. We'll tuck it underneath. Tuck it underneath the coil. So I use this screwdriver here, should be fine. I'm just going to tuck that right down into the drip well there. Okay. And then this side here, let's pull some of that excess off of there that I can see. So this one here, we just want to take it, fold it under, and then push it right underneath the coil. So now we should have something about like this right here. Now we can juice this up and guarantee it's going to be stacked. Jane Doe, I just got it. And this stuff is freaking amazing. Yeah, here it is. I'm getting ready to rock some of this stuff, man. Yeah, they got it. They done it right. No doubt about that. Now, I'm not going to be doing like big clouds with this or anything because this is 12 milligram juice, so I'm just going to be vaping it normal. Yeah, let's make sure we get the cap on this. Stuff was 21 bucks, man. See what kind of vapor we can get on this. So right off hand, the vapor production on this zipper coil, at least on the one that I built here, is kind of crappy. It takes forever for this thing to heat up. There it is, and it looks like it's like melting the crap out of my juice, so it's gonna burn hot and go through a lot of juice. Anyway, I can definitely tell you right off the bat that this is something that I'm not going to be using. I'm not going to be building this a lot. I just wanted to try it, and now I have. I'm going to put my air hole right over top of the coil. Yeah, you're not going to be able to see that in there. It's too dark, but anyway, I'm going to give it a vape and then let you know my final thoughts and opinions. So obviously I'm not like trying to cloud chase or anything with this. I mean, it is 12 milligram juice, man. So there you have it, guys. That's my version of the zipper coil. It was my first time ever building that and going through that entire procedure. It was actually a lot of fun to do. If you like building coils, this is a pretty fun one. Obviously, you want to go and give thanks. I didn't make this coil. I didn't create it. Go over to Twisted Messes on YouTube. Subscribe to his channel. Check out some of his other builds. They're pretty freaking awesome. This one, I don't know if I'll be doing this one again. Maybe. I mean, it was pretty fun to build, but the ramp-up time takes a long time, and I mean, the flavor is pretty good on it. It's not too bad. It's a fun coil to build. When I see a new weird coil or something, I got to try it out at least once and vape it and see what it's all about. But, I like to do this kind of stuff, man. I don't know, it just appeals to my meticulous nature, I guess. Though this coil didn't look all that fantastic, it was my first time, so I may do some more of them in the future. I don't know. I just wanted to try it out. So, anyway, that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. Take care and happy vaping.